What is the status, legal or otherwise, about um, getting off the highway and cutting that tree out of the right of way?
Well, technically, it would constitute destruction of state property and theft. Now, what does it mean in terms of being a type of an offense it would be? It would depend on the value of the tree. And without knowing what it looked like in advance, it would be hard to judge that. But probably anywhere from, say, a Class A to a Class C misdemeanor.
And some of that involves jail time.
It very well could. I mean, we don't make the decisions on what would happen in a penalty like that, but that would be the range of the type of violation for something like that.
Now, I'm just guessing here that this is not something you guys would pursue with a high priority. I mean, the Texas Rangers aren't going to be immediately swooping down.
Well, I have not heard that they want to on that, but it would in this case probably not. In other cases, something a little bit more extreme, something maybe a little bit more visible. I don't make the decision on that, but I don't see them going after anybody in this case.
But there conceivably could be situations in which it would be something that you would
Well,
pursue.
certainly that's why they make the laws to set out situations like that, so they can't say, well, up till this point it's a freebie,
Yeah.
and beyond that we're going to come and get you. No, the laws are written for everybody to cover all of the instances, but without a witness, without proof, I don't know that they're going to spend a lot of time going after anybody in this case.
Nonetheless, it may be pause to reflect on anybody considering this sort of thing.
Well, we suggest people don't do it. It's kind of like going out and taking pictures of bluebonnets. That's great. Don't pick the bluebonnets. First of all, it destroys the bluebonnets. They don't hold up well after you picked them. It keeps them from reseeding in the area, and technically it's destruction of state property. Now, kid grabs one bluebonnet, yeah, that's fine. But people go out there with a shovel and dig up whole patches of them. We put them there not only to beautify the road, but also to help hold the soil in place. Well, the same thing goes with the trees.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and turning to the broader theme of the lady I mentioned to you who was cleaning things up out there. It's her observation that it gets what she termed as worse every year. And the problem, of course, being that people put the stuff up and then they never come back. And if you go out there today, you're going to see tree after tree after tree after tree still laden with stuff. Some of it on the ground, the rest of it will be sooner or later. And in the meantime, it's just trashy, or it becomes trashy over a period of time. I did a story about this a few years back, as I recall, basically the attitude was, well, as long as they come pick it up later on, it's sort of mushy, But the implicit message was, clean it up.
Well, and that really is the message. First of all, in some places, it actually can be kind of dangerous. Especially on 360, some of those slopes are pretty steep. And we wouldn't want anybody to put themselves into a position where they could be harmed. You get onto a steep slope, you lose your footing, you come down the hill a little bit, you're cut, you're scraped, you're bruised. If you're up high enough, maybe you get enough momentum, you roll out close to the road. It's scary. Okay, so we don't encourage people to do that. But by the same token, if you don't catch them in the act, they don't really do anything about it. As you said, what looks wonderful at one point in time looks trashy, and it becomes litter at another point. Another thing is even though it's kind of fun to keep Austin weird, you put something on a tree like that and it can be a distraction. And if, let's say we have a nice wind come up and it blows garland off of a tree, and you get a 30-foot piece of it snapping in the wind and it distracts a driver at a critical time, not the safest idea as far as folks on the road. But again, it's hard to get them to stop. So what we tell them is, we'd rather you not do it. But if you're going to do it, secure it and then clean it up afterwards. You're simply making work for other people, whether it be state employees or contractors that we have to clean up litter, or other good-minded folks who want to go out there and keep things looking pristine and proper.
It sort of sounds like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. I mean, y'all are stuck, you know, short of putting lifeguard type people up and down the roads everywhere. How are you going to stop this?
And my name is not spelled Grinch, okay?
Yeah, well, right. And yet, as you point out, there's some definite problems with this sort of thing.
Well, sure. I mean, and it really, even if you put something out there that somebody said, well, it's biodegradable. Yeah, everything's going to fall apart in the Texas weather sooner or later. But you get a glass ornament out there or a plastic ornament, it's going to survive for a long time. Mix in with the soil. And again, you have somebody walks through the area, now that you got something to cut them on, and you know, nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. It's a wonderful feeling, it's a wonderful sentiment, but let's put it where it needs to be and not take a chance on littering the state right away.
Yeah, I know you're not a member of the commission. Do you anticipate this someday becoming too much and something has to be done about it?
I don't know at what level it would get to their attention, but it has our attention, and that's why we're happy to tell people, look, find a place that's safe to do this. You know, put a tree in your yard. Put something down at a community center. You know, the cities have got places, the counties have places, but out on the right of way, I mean, you know, who knows what could happen out there. And now 360's got a broad right of way over parts of it. But you also know some of that's rather steep.
Yeah.
And if you're too close to the road and somebody's distracted and lose control, you're putting yourself at risk. Let's not do that. Let's do things the right way.